There was a period of time last year where it was the worst football I've ever seen. The worst football I've ever seen. But correct me, I don't have a memory, but that was like the middle-ish part of the season. The early Callahan games, the post-Gruden early Callahan games were unwatchable.
Well, all Callahan wanted to do was to shorten the game,
right?
Run the ball as much as possible,
and try to steal it.
Not expose Dwayne Haskins, because at that point he clearly wasn't ready, even though he showed signs toward the end that he was improving. The Callahan era of football was it was basically unwatchable.
But
it was
But
gross.
then O'Connell started to have more of a say by most accounts. And then the last 3 or 4 games, I remember they were more competitive. It looked like a regular football team again.
They were scoring more than 3 points a game.
Haskins, obviously, not coincidentally, started to play better after more reps and more, everything. So maybe I'm just locking in on the last 3 or 4 games, and everyone else is remembering everything else. So that's fair. There was a period of time where it's the worst professional football team I've ever seen.
Look, I think they're going to be improved.
But I think they're going to be better.
I think they're going to be better, but that might be 6 wins. It might be 7 wins.
6 wins is the over.
And that's
all
what
I'm saying.
That's what if you're Ron Rivera, that's what you want to build on. You want to come into a 3-win team and post 7 or 8 in your first year if you get a bounce or two, and then you shoot for double digits down the road and you build this thing.
That's what I'm thinking.
The Redskins have majored in, let's just put our fingers in the holes and plug this and try to get an extra win or 2 here. And hopefully Rivera is the guy that says, no, that's not the way you're going to do this. We're going to rebuild it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think you have to bottom out from 3. What are they going to go to 2? To 1? No, I just don't see it. This is bottom. He inherited bottom.
No, I think they're going to win between 5 and 7 games.
Yeah,
they're going to be in that range. I would guess.
Yeah,
5, 6, or 7.
I don't think they're going to be.
I think that's fair.
I don't think they're going to be 2 and 14.
6 or 7.
They're not going to be 2 or 3 win team.
I think to be 2 or 3 wins is second worst.
Well, it's hard to predict.
If you're 5 or 6 or 7, you're not second worst.
It's hard to predict records, but I would say like I said, you can group about 4 or 5 teams in one bottom of the barrel class, and I think that they're in there right now.
It is hard to
just because of the unknowns.
It's hard to predict records, but we will do our damnedest to do that Friday morning because the schedule release is a full go for Thursday.
Not that
night.
hard for me. Pretty easy for me to pick these. All right, let's go to Joe in Baltimore. Joe, what's up, buddy? You're on with the Junkies.
What's up, Junks? How you doing?
Hey, Joe.
I'm just calling from Baltimore. I got my Mitchell and Ness Daryl Green authentic jersey on. HTTR, boys.
Sweet.
Nice.
I just threw that in there. I'm not one of those Twitter guys who has HTTR on their profiles that you guys despise.
So you're a rational person is what you're saying. I'm
kind of rational, but at the same time, I don't like how you guys constantly pick on those people, but I digress. Yes, I am a little rational.
We just pick on them because, listen, it's great to have, love of your team or whatever, but they're incapable of saying anything critical or accepting anything critical about them. That's all.
I see your point, E.
Yeah.
So back to your question. First off, people forget those last 6 quarters, Dwayne Haskins had a quarterback rating over 120. He was playing pretty good. So I'm going to go the over, but at the same time, I agree with you guys. I think 7 wins, maybe even 8. The NFL these days is an 8-8 league. I remember Craig Hoffman would always say that, and I would agree with him. So, I mean, I think they could go 7 wins, maybe 8 if they hit it. But the coaching on defense, getting rid of Minuski and putting in Rivera and Del Rio, that is worth so much. The defense last year was so bad. So I guess we're on the same page, EB. Love you, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
Could be, but there's just no way they're going 8-8.
I don't see 8 wins unless Haskins is just markedly better than what we think, and he kind of puts them on his back.
Yeah.
But I do think they can win. I mean, certainly 5 or 6 games, and I don't think that's second worst. I mean, I just think that's crazy. There's going to be a bunch of 6 and 10 teams.
Yeah, last year you had a 2-14 team, and then you had the Skins at 3, and then there was a bunch of teams with 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But look, if they get to 5 or 6, it's obviously an improvement. You get to 6, you double the wins.
But
what's wrong with that?
When they go 5 and 11, we're still going to smash them because it's just,
of course,
it's just what happens.
But
I fully expect to smash them in most weeks.
Yeah.
But if you're seeing progress, if you're seeing the younger players develop, I mean, we'll still critique them, but you want to see those steps made in year one.
Right.
God forbid they're a 3-win team again or worse. I can't envision them being worse.
Right.
In year one of Rivera.
Well, when you're saying that they're the second worst team in your power ranking, you're basically saying they've gotten no better and they may have gotten worse. That's what you're saying.
That's
pretty
ESPN
much what they're
ESPN's
predicting.
saying. They have not improved. They're not any better, and they're equally as poor as they were last year. And I just don't think that's true. All right, let's go to Dennis in Reston. Dennis.
Hey guys, how y'all doing? Thank you very much for taking my phone calls, and also thank you very much for keeping your show going during these miserable times that we're in right now. But anyway, first of all, I completely disagree with these so-called know-it-alls over at ESPN predicting our 31st placement in the league this year. There's no way that that's going to happen. Okay, and anyway, all the years before this and these predictions, ESPN. Who are these guys from ESPN? They're not. They don't even know what they're talking about half the time. They're ridiculous. Why would they put Dallas as America's team? Everybody say, no. Everybody needs to back up and regroup. 5 to 7 wins this year. That's how I feel about it.
5 to 7 is not second worst. I'm with you 100%. Yeah. Was his phone
ESPN,
clicking? Was there a
it's
weird
breaking
sound?
up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now, it looks like ESPN used a panel of more than 80 writers, editors, and TV personalities to come up with this ranking.
Yeah, those guys' chops are as good as ours.
It's not just one guy coming up with a list.
I know,
intern.
They're just still a bunch of nerds just like we
It's
are.
not ESPN's version of AWOD.
But when you say 5 to 7, you covered half the league. Half the league had 5 to 7 wins.
Okay, I'm just saying, we're going to be like them. We're not going to be second worst in the power.
So they're not going to
rankings.
be a 2-win team or a 3-win team. I would agree.
Yes, we're not going to be second worst. We're going to be a better football team this year than last year. And I think I think probably by 3 wins or so. I think.
Okay.
I think the
I'll go with that.
coordinator is worth a few wins alone.
I'll go with 6 wins.
And then you throw Chase Young in the mix, and then an extra year of Haskins, although it's hard to develop when you're out there throwing to high school kids.
Right.
I don't know how that's working, but hopefully he's got a big chip on his shoulder. Hopefully he uses that, to help him. Let's go to Anthony in D.C., line 3. Anthony, what's up, buddy? You're on with the Junks.
Hey, thank you guys for taking my call. Long-time listener, long-time caller.
Thanks, buddy.
You guys and Grand Danny, thank you guys so much for keeping some type of normalcy to our lives out here, man. Thank you guys.
Yeah, don't forget Chad
Thanks for
Dukes.
hanging in there and listening.
Throw our man Chad Dukes in there, too.
Yeah, we love Chad.
Yeah, my man Chad. I definitely can't forget Chad. Appreciate that. I just want to make a comment. First of all, just like the last caller said, who cares what ESPN thinks? They never, ever give us our credit. Even when we have good competitive teams, they still always put us in the doghouse. We were 6-3 year before last when Aldis got hurt, and they still were saying that we was the worst team in the NFC East. So I don't care what ESPN think. What I do care is what the fans think and what you guys think. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm very excited to be a Redskins fan right now. We had an awesome draft. I mean, I'm talking about I am giddy with Chase Young, and Gibson is going to be a star. He is the steal of the draft to me. And I heard one of you guys saying that you don't think Harmon is going to be any good just as a possession receiver. But I tell you, Harmon is going to be a great receiver.
I think he showed a lot.
Golden Gandy.
Yeah.
Say that?
I think Harmon showed a lot towards the end. He showed he's here to stay. I think he could be something, maybe a number 3 guy, but I think he could be something.
Yeah, absolutely. But not only catching the balls, I just watch his work ethic, and he blocks. I mean, he reminds me of Julio Jones and Michael Irvin.
Look at
the
that
way
kid.
he blocks.
Okay.
The way he blocks, he said.
Okay, the way
he blocks.
I never knew Julio Jones is a scary
Listen to the
blocker.
whole context.
You know what I care more about from my receivers? Catching the ball than them being blockers. I know I'm clearly not a coach. They want them to contribute all over and to be good blockers, but I care more about touchdown grabs.
Right. I was going to say, catching the ball in the end zone.
Catch 80 or 90 balls. That's what I want.